There is a silent prayer that almost all of us have done, not in a temple or in a church, but on the cold floor of our room in the dark, when no one else could see or hear. It is the prayer that is born not of faith, but of absolute exhaustion. It's the soul whisper that, after fighting, forcing, trying to control every detail of life, finally breaks down and says, "I can't take it anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. Please take control. I surrender." If you have already felt that way, know that you were not in your moment of greater weakness. You were actually knocking on the door of your greatest power. For this prayer is the inevitable consequence of the pain of the hunter, anxious. It is the result of a lifetime spent on effort, battle, in the belief that our happiness and security depend on our ability to control the world around us. And this struggle made us exhaust the tense body and minds with the disappointment of seeing that, despite all our effort, peace and joy remain at mirage. Your surrender is not a failure. It is your graduation. And this is where Carl Jung's deep wisdom is intimate. What he would teach us is that his moment of greatest vulnerability, the moment when his ego finally admits to, is the exact moment when the superior force of his self, his soul, has the permission to intervene. The paradox of power is this: the change you sought so much through control can only happen through delivery. And the ritual we are going to explore today is the sacred formalization of that whispered prayer in the dark. This process is a dance in 2 acts. The 28-minute ritual is its final focus act. It is the moment when you gather all your remaining energy, not to fight, but to lighten your deepest intention, to present it purely to the intelligence of the universe. And the act of doing nothing that follows is your final act of trust. It is your way of honoring your own prayer, truly releasing the reins and allowing the wisdom that is infinitely larger than your conscious mind can finally start working in your favor. Think of this ritual as the last letter a soldier writes in the midst of a battle that he knows cannot win. He writes it not with the paint of arrogance, but with the paint of his own vulnerability, his deepest yearning. The 28-minute ritual is the act of writing this letter, and the doing nothing is the act of tying it at the foot of a pigeon, release it to heaven, and, for the first time, to feel the peace of having nothing more to do except to trust that the message will find its destiny. My promise to you on this 40-minute journey to honor your I will guide you step by step through this sacred ritual and I will teach you the art of trusting in the following silence so that you can, perhaps for the first time, witness the universe responding not to your effort, but to your surrender. The first stage of our alchemy is a precise diagnosis of our own resistance, and it manifests itself in the pain of the frustration of seeing that the more you strive for something to happen, the more distant this something seems to be, whether to find a partner, to thrive financially, or to achieve inner peace. It is the feeling that your effort, instead of bringing you closer to your desire, creates an invisible field of strength that repels you. It's like trying to hold the water with a closed wrist. The more strength you apply, the faster it escapes. What neuroscience and quantum physics show us today is that this is not a feeling, but an energetic fact. The state of anxious effort, trying too much, is a state of survival. He activates his sympathetic nervous system. And neurologically, your brain is operating in high beta waves, the rhythm of stress, analysis, and danger, flooding your body with cortisol. Energy. You are issuing the exact electromagnetic signature to the quantum field of not having. Your body and mind are chemically rehearsing, moment at moment, the reality of lack. And here is the revelation that can change your life forever. The universe is not responding to what your mouth says you want. He is responding to what his body and his being are, vibrationally, every moment. His desperate effort, his closed fist, vibrates distrust. He is an energy statement that says, I don't trust it will come on my own, so I need to force, I need to control, I need to fight. And the universe, like a perfect mirror, can only give you more struggle, more resistance, and more reasons to distrust. The ritual we will learn is designed to change your state of being from a state of need to a state of knowledge and trust, so you can identify where your closed fist is. The invitation is for an effort auditor. Think of your main objective. Now list 3 actions you are taking toward him, but who feel heavy, forced or born from the fear that if you do not do them, nothing will happen. It only recognizes without judgment that these actions, though very well intended, may be the source of their energy resistance. They may be the act of closing the fist that is actually sabotaging its result. Think that trying to manifest something with effort and control is trying to hold a living fish with all your strength, and he discusses himself, he fights, he gets hurt, and most likely, the manifestation through delivery, the art we are learning, is like relaxing your hand and keeping it open and calm underwater. The fish, feeling its calm and non-artiasa, approaches curiosity and confidence, and sometimes he chooses to rest in his open. Once we understand that excessive effort blocks it, we can look at the pain of it is the frustration of trying dozens of random meditations without understanding the process behind them. Sometimes they seem to work, some not, and this lack of consistency inevitably leads us to disbelief, the conclusion that none of this really works, and that we are wasting. The ritual we are going to practice today is different because it is not random. It has a sacred logic, a structure based on the processes of ancient alchemy. It's 28 minutes, actually divided into 4 7-minute phases, and number 7, in all traditions of wisdom, is the number of spiritual cycle and perfect. Each phase has a precise name and alchemical purpose. Phase 1 is dissolution, the dissolution of ego noise. Phase 2 is coagulatio, the coagulation of its intention in a clear feeling. Phase 3 is impregnation, the act of planting this intention in the unconscious. And phase 4 is sigillum, the confident seal that closes the work. And the revelation here is that this is not a generic relaxation exercise, it is a surgical protocol for your psyche. Each of these 4 phases was designed with a specific and essential function. The first, to silence the castle guard. The second, to translate your message into the language that the king understands. The third, to deliver the message into your hands. And the fourth, to get out of the castle and trust that the king will act. It is the structure and intention behind the ritual that give it its power to recalibrate its reality. And as in every surgery or sacred, the preparation of the environment is critical. Before starting the 28-minute protocol, the invitation is for you to create your sacred space. Find a place and a moment when you know you will not be disturbed these 30 minutes. Turn off your phone or place it in plane mode. Notify the people in your home. This physical act of creating a temple for your inner work, however simple, sends a powerful signal to your psyche that something important, something sacred, is about to happen. Think as follows. You would never do or allow open-heart surgery at a noisy and chaotic subway station. This 28-minute ritual is a surgery in its energy and psychic reality. And the 4 phases are the precise medical protocol that guarantees the success of the operation. Dissolutio is anesthesia, which soothes the patient and prepares it. Coagulatio and impregnatio are the operation itself, the delicate and focused procedure. And sigillum, the seal of gratitude, is the suture, the dressing that protects the operated area and allows healing to happen in peace. We now come to the heart of to the center of our alchemy. After understanding the theory, your soul yearns for experience. This is the how, a practical protocol, a step-by-step that I invite you to follow with so that you can deliberately plant the seed of your new reality in the most fertile soil, your own being. Now find your most comfortable position, preferably lying down in your sacred space, where you know you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes, and let's start our 28-minute journey. Focus all your attention now on your breath. Let's use 4-7-8 breath to calm your nervous system and silence your ego's guard. Inhale through the nose, counting up to 4. Hold the air into your lungs, counting up to 7. And exhale slowly through the mouth, a soft sound, counting up to 8. Repeat this cycle. With each expiration, feel your body becoming heavier, more relaxed, sinking into your bed. Feel your daytime thoughts, your concerns, your need to control, dissolving. Visualize each thought as a cloud that simply dissipates into a vast nightly and silence. Its only goal at this stage is silence. Just breathe and dissolve into stillness. Now that your mind is calm and receptive, brings your desire gently to your conscience, your intention. But do not attach to the details of how it will happen. Instead, plunge into the question, what is the final feeling I seek with fulfillment of this desire? Is it the feeling of peace, of freedom, of love, security? Find this central emotion, and now, manage that feeling in your body. Feel peace in each cell. Feel freedom on your chest. And as you bathe in this feeling, ask your soul to show you an image, a simple symbol that represents this sensation. It can be a golden key, a white feather, a radiant sun. Do not analyze, just receive the symbol. This feeling and this symbol are its coagulated, crystallized intent. Keeping this feeling and the image of your symbol in your conscience, now visualize your heart or solar plexus as a dark, rich, and immensely fertile solo. With an act of soft and loving intention, plant your symbolic image on this soil. Not force, do not push. Just put it there, as well as those who gently deposit a precious seed on earth. And then, with calm and absolute certainty, say internally to yourself once it's done, and feel the purpose and power of this statement. The seed was planted. Now the most crucial step, release the image completely. Release the feeling of desire. Forget your order. And change your focus entirely on the thrill of deep gratitude. Feel gratitude for your breath, which enters and goes out effortlessly. Feel gratitude for your body, for this comfortable bed, the ceiling over your head. Feel gratitude for the opportunity to be alive and to perform this sacred ritual. Gratitude is the frequency of reality already manifest. It is the most powerful signal you can send to the universe, a statement that you fully trust delivery. It seals the alchemical work. The ritual is complete. Return your consciousness to your body slowly. Move your fingers from your hands and feet, and when you feel ready, open your eye. Drink a glass of water. The operation is complete. The seed was planted. After deep delivery of the ritual, you enter the most challenging and, at the same time, most powerful phase of the whole process. It is the phase of doing nothing, and the pain that arises here is that of doubt. It is the compulsion of your conscious mind to want to check if the ritual is working. It is the anxiety that comes up hours later, the desire to analyze the process, or the desire to tell everyone what you did. And all of these are acts of your ego, desperately trying to resume control and, without realizing, sabotage all the sacred work you just done. It is crucial to understand that doing nothing is not passivity or laziness. It is an act of immense strength and discipline. It is an active act trust. It is the conscious work of protecting the seed that you planted from the shadow of your own ego's doubt. It's like a bear mother who protects her cub from any threat. Your work within 24 hours is not to do anything else. Your goal. Your work is to protect the integrity and frequency of the state you established. And the revelation that will help you maintain this discipline is this. Your doubt, concern, and your need to check are low-frequency energy, and they neutralize like water on fire the high frequency of your intention and gratitude you have established in the ritual. Therefore, the act of doing nothing, not interfering, not doubting, is the most productive, powerful action you can perform after the ritual. It is your part in the agreement with the universe. You did your work, which was to plant the seed, clarity, and focus. Now, you need to allow the universe to do its work, which is to germinate the seed in peace. To help you protect your seed from your ego anxiety, the invitation is for you to use a mantra of trust. In the hours of the ritual, every time the doubt, the concern, or the need for control arise in your mind, take a deep breath, put your hand in your heart, and say yourself, internally or externally, the seed is planted. The universe is working. My only work is to observe with gratitude. Use this phrase as a standard of interruption, as a sacred shield to protect your energy field from contamination from your own doubt. Think of this process like baking a cake. The 28-minute ritual was the time when you carefully and accurately prepared the dough and put it in the oven at exact temperature. The act of doing nothing is the act of trusting in the oven process. It is the act of not opening the oven door every 2 minutes. Cake is growing, because you know what happens if you do that. The cold air enters, the cake withered, and all its work is lost. Your patient confidence, your non-interference, is the final and secret ingredient that ensures that the cake make up perfectly and grow in all its glory. After performing your ritual and surrendering to the art of non-interference, you enter the last stage, the harvest. And the pain that can arise here is that of unreal expectation. It is often unconscious hope that the world changes in a dramatic and instantaneous way. It's waiting to win the lottery the next day or receive that call that you are waiting for. And when these cinematic miracles do not happen, the skeptical mind returns tightly, saying, I knew none of this works. which leads him to disappointment and disbelief in the process. This is why we need to calibrate our perception. The first signs of a deep recalibration of reality are almost always subtle. They are internal, and they are synchronous. The universe, in its immense intelligence, rarely shouts. He first whispers, and his work in the next 24 hours is to become a master in hearing whisper. And the most important breach of expectation for this moment is this: the first thing that changes after the ritual is not the world and you. Your perception and emotional state are the first to be recalibrated. And only then, after its internal frequency has changed, the outside world begins slowly to bring it evidence that mirrors its new vibration. You first need to feel alone so that life can bring you peaceful situations. So what should you look for? Become a synchronic detective and observe these 3 levels. First, internal change. Observe your emotional state. Do you feel lighter, calmer, reactive to things that would normally piss them off? Did you have a particularly vivid or significant dream? Did you have a creative idea or a solution to a problem that arose out of nowhere? This is the primary and most important change. Second, the synchronicity. Be aware of the significant coincidence, the song that starts playing with the exact lyrics of what you need to hear, the phrase you hear from a stranger, an animal that crosses your way unexpectedly, a repeated number. These are the waggeries of the universe, the small nods that say, "I heard you, your message was received." And third, human interaction. Note how people treat it, even in a subtle way. Does anyone smile on the street, receive an unexpected compliment? Does anyone who was distant or with whom you had a conflict suddenly get in touch in a smoother way? Think your ritual was the act of throwing a stone in the center of a perfectly calm lake. Do not expect a tsunami on the margins in 24 hours. Instead, your work is to sit on the bank in silence and to observe with all your attention the small and subtle ripples that will inevitably come to you. Each small ripple, however small, is the irrefutable proof that the center of the lake has changed by its act of intention. We travel together today from the arrest of the anxious effort, the closed fist of the controller, to the freedom of confident delivery, to the co-creator's dance. We go through the logic of rituals, practice, and the sacred art of protecting the seed we plant. And the central truth that I hope to enlighten your way is that the real change in your life is a dance between you and the universe. The 28 minutes of the ritual are the moment when you, with focus and intention, lead the dance. And the next 23 hours of doing nothing is the moment when you, with confidence and grace, allows the universe to lead you. Both parties are absolutely essential. For the power of the psyche, as Jung has shown us, lies in his ability to use the ritual, the symbol, and the intention to communicate with the deepest forces of life. By performing this ritual, you aligned your ego with the intention of yourself, and now you should trust the wisdom to orchestrate events in the outside world. The power to reshape its reality is no longer effort, but in a clearer intention and deeper. You have the protocol. You understand the dance. Your only task now is to rely on the process for 24 hours. Make the ritual, deliver the result, and become a marvelous observer. Speed with which the universe responds to a heart is finally in peace.